In this video, I'll share with you 10 lessons that psychedelics have taught me. I am not saying you should or should not take anything, I'm just sharing my experience. But number 10 is that there is so much to be grateful for. If you look around yourself in the room you are in, there's just so much to be grateful for. Even the fact that you are alive is a miracle. Every moment and everything that is happening is in some way beautiful. And that doesn't mean that we should ignore all the bad stuff or that we should force ourselves to be grateful. But there is so much to be grateful for, and it is one thing to know it, but another thing to feel it. Number 9 is that the only reason you suffer is because you are trying to run away from your pain and you are not facing it directly. Bad, unpleasant trips are somewhat common when people take psychedelics, but they almost exclusively happen when people reject what is happening. They are rejecting what the drug is trying to show them. If they were to let go and surrender to the experience and feel the emotions, whatever they are, fully, they would actually have a bliss. They would have such a pleasant experience, and it is the same in real life. When you try to resist certain emotions and certain states, they actually will cause you so much more suffering than if you were to just let them in. The pain will still be there, but the suffering because of the pain doesn't have to. As one Zen master, Shinzen Yang, puts it, suffering equals pain times resistance. You cannot really avoid pain. The pain will always be there. But what you can avoid is the resistance of the pain. But once you stop resisting, the pain will still hurt, but you will not suffer. Even though I talk about it and I am somewhat aware of it, I still have a hard time surrendering to the pain sometimes. But it is a process of becoming more and more open and inviting to whatever emotions you are feeling. Not only the positive ones, but mainly the unpleasant ones. Number 8 is that all meaning is self-generated. There is not some objective law of the universe written somewhere in the clouds saying that this is your purpose. It is us, it is our ego that creates the purpose. Be it becoming rich, or becoming successful and good at what you're doing, or helping people, whatever it is. All of these goals are generated by our egos, and that doesn't mean that they are bad at all. It's just that they are not objective. You can still set goals, there is nothing wrong about that. Just know that the universe doesn't care if you fail. Number 7 is that people do bad things mainly because they lack love. People who really hurt others, like Hitler and Stalin, these weren't born as bad people. Nobody was born as a bad person. So then the question is, why did they become bad? You could say that they simply had an illness, but clearly not all of them had an illness. But there is one thing that nearly every single one of these people has in common, and that is dysfunctional childhood where they did not receive enough love. Like we mentioned Hitler and Stalin. If you look at guys like this and you study their childhood, what you will find out is that almost all of them, nearly 100% of them, were beaten up as kids. And they grew up in dysfunctional families. So one thing that I learned from this is that if we wish to stop people from doing harm to others, one way obviously is to lock them up, and I'm not saying that there is no place for that, but another way is through love. Because when these bad people receive love, they will most likely become good people. And the only reason why we consider ourselves to be good people is because we got loved. And the main reason why we are quote good people is because we received love. And most of our dysfunctions like addictions and mental problems are driven by lack of love. Number 6 is kind of connected to this, and that is that you deserve more love no matter who you are. It truly is the case, and depriving others of love does not work. If we wish to create more love in the society, we cannot do that through hatred. We can only do that through love. And I truly love you, and there are many more people who love you as well, trust me. But number 5 thing I found is that the only person who can truly give you love at any time is you. We are programmed to seek love and approval from others. We are made that way because in the past our ancestors usually couldn't survive alone and they needed a tribe. And in a way, we still kind of need other people around us to survive, and we need their love. I still can receive love from others, But if I am after that true unconditional love, then I am the only person who can give myself that. And it's awesome to share love, to spread it, and to receive love from others. But why not stop for a while and give love to yourself? Number 4, I don't want to get negative, but what I've learned is that the society we live in right now is dysfunctional as hell. I mean, it is absolutely changing for better at a rapid rate, and people right now are way more conscious than they used to be 1,000 years ago. I truly believe that. But the world that we live in right now has many dysfunctions. If you look at psychedelics, for example, these substances are still illegal even for therapeutic purposes, despite the fact that they are so effective for healing depression or addictions to more dangerous substances like alcohol and tobacco. And it is not even legal to study psychedelics and to prove that they are safe and effective. Or if you look at education or the way our society deals with the virus that we are facing. I do not want to completely condemn the society because we are a part of it, and hatred is not a way to change it, but I've realized over the past year just how dysfunctional our society is. We are, by the way, completely overlooking global warming and nuclear war and other existential threats, and I think that there's a super high chance that they will get us. Number 3 is more so a practical tip, and that is that if you are going to take psychedelics yourself, where you trip, where you take them is super important. It is obvious that you don't want to take them at a party or on a street or elsewhere where there are many strangers around. But even the difference between taking it at your home or in nature is huge. So if you are going to take these substances, make sure that you keep your body warm and that you are as safe as possible, because you will be vulnerable during the time. Number 2 is that science is limited. I used to grow up being a super hardcore scientific guy, disregarding anything that is not based on reason and logic as science knows it. But looking back, that is just one perspective, and in my eyes, as I view it right now, the perspective of science is incredibly limited. It is hard to put this into words for me, but science is like new religion, it's just concepts. Yes, there is a difference, of course there is, but if you take psychedelics or if you do some hardcore meditation or yoga, you will understand what I'm talking about. And it is not like you will become deluded and then you will forget that logic is the one true way. You will be able to see more perspectives, and you will notice that science as we know it right now is just one perspective and it is limited. But you cannot logically grasp it, that is the problem. Like if I tried to back in the days try to logic my way into this insight, there is no way I would get there. Which leads me to the lesson number 1, which is that there is zero way to understand psychedelics without trying them. A guy named Timothy Leary once said that he learned more about psychology in 5 hours on magic mushrooms than in 5 previous years of studying psychology at Harvard, which you will not be able to appreciate until you take psychedelics. Which I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that maybe you shouldn't be judgmental of these substances and of people who take them if you've never tried them, because there is no way to explain how these drugs work. Trying these substances will be so much different than anything that anybody can tell you about them, because you cannot accurately describe the experience with words and concepts. I love you, thank you for watching, and share this video if you enjoyed it.